Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti and I forgot to turn lights on. What's new? There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? You don't care? Oh well, screw you. There it is. Got them all. Welcome to Monday Night Mayhem. It won't be mayhem. It'll be fun though. We're gonna fly 75mm at. Oh! Hold on. I started the stream with the wrong video file. Here's how my day was. Hold on. DJI, what is this? Oh. No, this is cool. I can inject this. All right. Here's how my day began. Are you ready? I hope you're excited. So I woke up and I was like, all right, I got a whole bunch of these 450 mAh batteries charged. Time to fly them down. Why is this not mounting? Mount! And I had the, why is this not work, you fart bag bastard? Oh, it was there. Or was it? What is happening? Oh my god, what? It just told me that OBS quit, but are we still here? We're still here? This is confusing. Here's, here we go. Here it is, I think. Is this it? This is it! Oh, this is it! It's even got audio. HD0 records audio, which is kind of cool. Check this out. Wop, 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 wop. Here we go, flying around. Oh, 75mm rig, lightweight, you know. Oh, this thing's not bad. It's a little heavy. Flying okay, though. You hear the fan in the goggles going crazy. Look at that. Kind of getting used to it, right? 75mm, what great fun. And we're good, everything's cool. Let's do, hey, big one. All's right with the world, having a good time. Today's gonna be a good day. I can't wait to fly a bunch of batteries on this. This is gonna be fun. Alright, look at that. Different little move there. Just, you know, getting used to 75 a little bit in the house. See if it's viable. It's not, but, you know. Try it anyway. Something new, something different. Trying to use, like, the extra weight to create some, like, kind of different movements and whatnot. Not too bad. It's alright. Crashing it a little bit. Can't get it out of the stairwell, you know. Normal stuff for a Monday. Oh no, not again! Not again! Yeah, the commentary is perfect. And there it is. What not to do on Monday morning with Aaron Ciotti. I hope you enjoyed. Bye! So, yeah. That is the Mobula 7 1S. So that's the only X12 board that I've got. And it's sitting over there on the fan. I'll plug it back in tomorrow morning after it's had tons of time to dry out. And it should be okay. It should be okay. For all I know, the Betaflight AIO is magically okay again. But I doubt it. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. It might be. 24 hours is a long time for shit to dry out. I have, especially sitting on a fan with moving air that whole time. I have a tough time believing that more than 24 hours is necessary. It certainly never has been. I've fully submerged shit in water. Probably, definitely more than 10. Probably closer to 20 than 10 times over the years. And they've always been fine. They've always come back to life magically, and all is right with the world. But never twice in 1 month. That's super annoying. But hey, sometimes FPV is annoying as shit, and you just suck it up because it's the best thing in the world. So suck it up, Buttercup! I am putting these 0603 motors into a Mobula 7 1S frame because I want to see how they are again. I tried this once, and I remember them being pretty good, but I want to try it again. I'm really hell-bent on trying to figure out how to get response time out of these 75mm rigs right now. The 65mm rigs, like, we're good. The motors that we've got are perfect. The response time is ridiculous. They're snappy. They're crisp. They're amazing. They are what you want for flying inside the house, unquestionably. I'm kind of fascinated at the moment with, is there a way to get a 75mm rig that is more competent in the house than they have been in the past, but also work outside? And the one thing that really kills me is how just sloppy they are. Like, they're just so slow, and like, Yeah, they just they just don't have the response time that 65 millimeter rigs do, and that makes I think that's one of the reasons that they're difficult to fly in the house, because they're so lazy, they're so slow. If you need the rig to like cover your ass because you made a little mistake, you're done. So you're either the best pilot on earth and you can actually make them work, or you're like me and you need to spend a little bit of time figuring out how to get it to work for you and how to get it to kind of flatter you a little bit more. And yeah. Also, doing some of this analog 75 millimeter testing is helping me understand how to maybe get a 1S Walksnail rig going. And so, yeah, I'm kind of doing this testing in tandem. We'll see. We'll see. The 65 millimeter stuff is really great because you can just fly it at this point. Like, we know the formula. We can just kind of focus on putting the stick time in, putting the batteries in, and getting good. And you guys better be doing that, man. 6 batteries a day, right? Come on. I've done the hard work for you. I've figured out the formulas. There's even a couple of bind and flies that are unbelievable right now. The Mobula 6 2024 and the Meteor 65 Air are both awesome. I'm having a strange hair day. When I woke up, I pushed my hair all in the wrong direction, like as a joke, and then I didn't push it in the right direction, and so it's been like foof all day. And so yeah, this is the result. Actually, I really do need to get a haircut. It's getting a little bit much. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. And yeah, I don't know. My ongoing love-hate affair with 75 millimeter is really in full swing at the moment. It comes in waves. Like, I spend a bunch of time on it. I get frustrated because it's just not good enough. And then I set it aside for a little while, and then eventually I go back to it. It's like I'm like a battered wife, man. I just keep coming back for more, even though all my friends are telling me, dude, stop. You've tested it enough. The people that won't listen are not right. The people that don't fly, I don't know. What can I say, man? FPV is Stockholm Syndrome. Top to fucking bottom. And why fight it? You know? Just play into it. Just, you're captive. Just be okay with it. Just be okay with being a captive and have some fun along the way. In the chat, Cloud Hopper was first. Frank Nichols was next. Curtis Hayes, Sleepy CBR, Smoking Dog Cujo, Blake Rucker, Metal Dirt Skin, FPV Toast, Notice, Hockey Rounds, Bent FPV, Tom Johnson, Andrew Taylor, Doubles FPV, Siskel FPV. Siskel, you've got a package on its way to you. Just Mo, JP Spin, Cloud Hopper, Scotty Scott, Wilkening, Douglas Otwell, JP Spin again, Mogger, Dave S., Danzilla the Wonderful, Walter Van Den Ord, Brandon's Baked Beans. Hey, speaking of Brandon's Baked Beans, before we fly the Walksnail 1S rig tonight, I'm going to jump into the messages that Brandon sent me yesterday about the tune on this, and I'm going to fix the tune up on this. And we're going to talk about what he told me, because there's some really cool stuff in there. So, Brandon, thank you for all that. This guy is going to get updated to Betaflight 4.5, and then I'm going to follow some of the advice that was very kindly given to me by Brandon's Baked Beans. So yeah, that's going to be super exciting. Dennis R, I'm going to say, instead of massacring your last name. Dave S, Notice, Striker, Tongue Out FPV. Tongue Out, there's a package on its way to you as well. Cloudhopper, Sky, Sciotic. Yeah, I had it right. I think I got most of you. What's up, friends? If you want me to say your name, tag me or come in early and say hi. Cloudhopper says, I know you think 33,000 kV is overkill for 75mm analog, but I love flying them with 33,000. I just wound 36,000 kV for fun. Jesus. I'll have the last one wound this week, and we'll see how crazy. Very cool. Super interested to see how it is. I'm seeing diminishing returns after 27,000. From 27,000 to 30, there's only a tiny little difference. From 30 to 33, there's only a tiny little difference. 27 has enough power. 27 has enough power for me, so I'm totally happy staying there. I am going to retest though. Hopefully that thing survives. I am going to retest 27,000 kV. I'm sorry. I'm going to test 25,000 kV versus 30,000 kV. There was practically no difference. There was a difference, but it was almost a not noticeable difference between 27 and 30. So I want to test 25 and 30 because I think that'll be a little bit easier to kind of see the difference there. And so yeah, cool stuff coming up. And then I'm also going to test 30,000 kV 0603, and we can compare that as well. 0603 has slightly less stator volume than 0802, but the 3 millimeters of stator height is going to do more work. Stator height, additional stator height does more work than additional stator width. And so, yeah, that'll be, and in the process of that happening, the a narrower, taller motor has the magnets pulled in closer to the center of rotation, and so it should have better response time. So, yeah, I don't remember that big of a difference in response time last time I did this testing and ran these 0603s, but now we've got the lighter weight HQ bi-blades, and maybe that'll make a difference. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna find out together, my friends. So stick around. We're not doing that tonight. Tonight we're comparing analog to digital, so that you guys can really see what I mean when I say that when you go to digital on these things, they kind of become CiottiWhoops. And also, I just have a whole bunch of these 450s I need to discharge, or maybe I only have 5. Where'd the rest of them go? What? Where'd the rest of them go? Did I leave them on the table? Oh no, they're in this bag over here, aren't they? No! Yes! Yeah, they are. I've got fresh 450s, actually, from TinyWhoop. The lightweight ones with the little pigtails on them. So yeah, we're going to run these. Yeah, they're charged. I remember charging them. So yeah, that'll be cool. I'm excited for that. This we're not going to run tonight, but the motors are now bolted down, so it goes in here. I did an order from Betaflight out of desperation today, and for one extra of the 2S AIO, and I found a bunch of other cool stuff on their website. And so yeah, we'll see how long that takes to get here. I'm really hoping that TinyWhoop gets that AIO back in stock. I only ordered one. I wanted to order 2, but I'm going to order the one from Betaflight, and then as soon as TinyWhoop has it back in stock, I'm going to order one from there as well. And yeah, I'm excited about that. That should be very cool because I have plans for that second one. I'm tempted to just keep the second one in a box so that I have it, but I want to try something with it first, which could be kind of cool. So yeah, stick around for that. That'll be fun. Danzel the Terrible says, woot woot. Dennis R says, any feedback about the T-Motor 0802 27,000 kV? It was the only motor I could find in stock. I will use them on my 25 gram 75 analog. 0802. 802, 27,000. I think that's the motor that they sent me prototypes of, good God, like over 2 years ago. And I think I remember it being like fine, but it wasn't quite high enough kV. This was when we'd I think it was like right when we had 0702 30,000 kV motors. It might have been when the 32,000s came up. And so an 802, oh, but you're saying on a 75 analog rig. Oh. They should be great. That was back before I realized that 802s would work on 75 mil rigs, so I can't speak specifically to it. But I mean, you have them on the way, so yeah, should be all right though. 1 millimeter shaft, you know, it's not going to be as durable as 1.5, but as long as you're not really hammering on it, it could be okay. Striker says, do you know any good canopies for the CO3 that aren't the G-string? Which McStinky fits the CO3? None of them. The CO3 is a weird size. It's taller than it is wide. So yeah, you're gonna have to look for either a Betaflight specific canopy made for that camera, or you're gonna have to look for a canopy that holds the lens. Other than that, yeah, nothing is going to be sized for that CO3, unfortunately. And they made it taller than it is wide, which is really weird. So, yeah, that might be tough. I'm not very impressed by that camera anyway, though. It's the way that the way that the auto white balance works. It's a little kind of like aggressive. The Runcam Nano 3, like, it doesn't make as big of an auto white balance adjustment, which is great because, like, it's okay if when you're flying inside the house everything is a little bit yellow, and it's okay if when you're flying outside everything's a little bit blue. Like, I would rather it not shift the white balance so aggressively, because it's kind of distracting. Like when you fly from outside to inside, or like when I fly from the basement into the hallway, it has this wild shift. And also, like, if you're flying around colored lights, you know, like the basement here has purple and red lights all over the damn place, and that makes the auto white balance go nuts. I don't know why they've made the auto white balance so aggressive. Like, just don't give it as wide of a range. Don't let it go all the way down to 3,300 Kelvin and then all the way up to 8,000. Like, narrow the range down, and then it's not quite as obnoxious. Other than that, it seems to be totally fine. But yeah, the white balance moving around is weirdly distracting. Denzel the Terrible says, I was really looking forward to the ham. I want my money back. BetFPV says, what do you think weight-wise a Walksnail 65 needs to be down to? I know the lighter the better, general consensus. I remember when we got TinyWhoops under 20 grams dry, that's when the performance really, that's when the ability to fly them accurately inside the house really kind of changed. So I would say 20. I would say 20 grams is sort of the number. What's nuts, though, is, like, when we hit 19, it was like, wow, this is way better. When we hit 18, it was like, wow, this is way better. 17, wow, this is way better. Now 16. Like, it's each gram that we keep dropping off of these things really makes a difference. Like, it's wild. I'm still waiting for the point where maybe when we hit 15, it'll be like, all right, yeah, this is maybe a little bit better, but not that much better than 16. But I don't know if that'll happen because, like, percentage change wise, it's a bigger percentage of change as we get lighter and lighter and lighter, right? So yeah, if anything, it might actually be even more noticeable as we continue to lighten them up. Although I don't really know if we're going to be able to get below 16 grams dry without really starting to sacrifice durability. So we'll see. Just Mo says, I hear the stress in your voice. LOL. Yeah. Brent Anderson says, my dog looks at me often panting because I left her bowl covered. Notice says, that could be the best possible use case for the Flywoo spray. The Flywoo spray is nothing new. There's, it's probably just clear acrylic spray paint. There've been, and here's the thing, right? If you look at a PCB and it's a little bit shiny, it's actually already conformal coated. A lot of the factories will conformal coat these things for you. They just dip them or spray them or whatever. And so, yeah, the problem with that spray is going to be getting it places where you don't want it, like the pins for the motors or the pins for the camera or the UFL or the USB. And that's kind of always been my hesitation with the waterproofing stuff, which is, if you get it on any of that stuff, like, boy, that's going to be a bitch to get it off. And if you can't get it off, you're donezo. So, yeah, I don't know. I know I've crashed into the dog's bowl an awful lot lately, but prior to this, it's been like over a year since it happened. So, it's not like a super common occurrence. I don't know. The waterproofing thing, like, it seems like such a great idea in theory, but then in practice, it's kind of a pain in the ass in certain ways. So, I don't know. I think I'm still going to continue to resist it. I probably shouldn't, but, like, I don't know. It's so infrequent that, like, that I'm, like, putting shit into water. I mean, it would be kind of interesting, though, to fly in the full-blown rain, but then, like, I don't know, man. What if that shit, like, if the water gets in the camera, it's fucked up, like, I don't know. I think I'm just okay with not having waterproof quads. And if they fall into water, just putting them on a fan for 24 hours and they, like, almost always come back to life. So, yeah, I don't know. I ain't got time for that shit! There was another product that came in a bag, and you put your component in a bag and you shook the bag up. And, like, the feedback from that product was like, it's not quite as good as conformal coating, but it kind of works. And that, it kind of works, like, just don't do anything. Like, not doing anything kind of works too. So yeah, I don't know. Curtis says, no, we got that. Siskel says, that's why I had to start taking the dog bowl up when I fly inside after the third time. Your commentary was much more family friendly. Yeah. Brunswick Bean says, spray it with Rain-X for science. That could be cool. Walter says, you look like a hippie. Notice says, I've started 15 batteries a day since the Pro Whooper boot camp started. Very cool. He says, not sure it's helping. Yeah, it's easy to sort of plateau. Just keep going. You'll get past it. It happens. It's something that happens. Just keep going. If you get too frustrated, the way to get past the plateau is to stop flying for fun, unfortunately, and fly as practice. So do a whole battery of power loops, do a whole battery of Matty flips, do a whole battery of wall rides, and you don't do anything else. And that's practice. And if you do 20, 30 batteries of practice and then you fly for fun again, you'll be a lot better at flying for fun. You can learn a lot flying for fun. But what can happen is that, like, you still have to be kind of hard on yourself. Like you still have to crash and then take a split second to think, like, why did that crash happen? Because otherwise you can just crash and be like, I suck, and that's it, and you didn't learn anything there. So yeah, you gotta work a little bit to get better. You gotta, like, stop having so much fun and just like, all right, what could I have done to not miss that? And then maybe go and try it again. And that's why like flying an entire battery of power loops really helps, because you're just doing one thing over and over again. So you start to notice the little subtleties. You start to notice like how quickly you're raising the throttle, how you know, when you're blipping the throttle, when you're chopping the throttle, how much pitch you're giving it, what your pacing is like. And so, yeah, those are a couple of ways to kind of break through that. LOL, the Kiddison says, I think yesterday's stream you mentioned having 0.99mm drill bits. Where would you be able to get, it sounds like you want one. Message me somewhere. CiottiFPV.com has all my contact info on it. Message me wherever is easiest for you. And, yeah, it's $5 for shipping. Do me a favor, though. Go to my Etsy store and see if there's anything there that you want, too. So, you know, if you can find like a sticker that you want as well, yeah, because for $5, like I barely break even, because the shipping is like $4 and change, and I think I basically paid like $1 each for these drill bits. So, yeah, if you can, jump over to Etsy and see if there's anything you want, and then send me $10 or $15 or whatever. This is my website, friends. This is how you support me. Patreon helps me out the most. Etsy has some fun stuff. Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me. I'll help you fly better, tune better, build better. Teespring has some fun shirts and other random apparel. And then I've got a shitload of affiliate links. If you're not using affiliate links, you're a jerk. And I'm going to hunt you down with a goddamn crossbow. Change your bookmarks to someone's affiliate links. They don't have to be mine, but support someone. And then if you don't use bookmarks, if you just type the website that you want to go to into the URL bar here, you can actually remove your current suggestions that pop up. See that? So remove your current, just like regular old Amazon.com suggestion, and then hit my Amazon affiliate link a couple times in a row. And then next time you type AMA for Amazon, it'll think that you want to go to my affiliate link because you just clicked it a bunch of times. And you can do that for all these different websites. So hook a brother up. Amazon, Get FPV, Pyro Drone, Race Day Quads, Newbie Drone, Weebleed, FPV Cycle, Oh My God, Brain 3D, HD0, Flywoo, Emacs, Banggood, Camera Butter, and guess what, my friends? I fixed the AliExpress affiliate link. So I do actually have an AliExpress affiliate link again. Thank you for pushing me to do that, you beautiful bastards. Mark Jimenez says, any thoughts on happymodel 1404 4800 kV on a 4S 2.5-inch 03 freestyle build? I don't know anything about. I didn't even realize that happymodel made 1404s. Which is annoying because 4800 kV is awesome. I'll be damned. I didn't know they made that high of a kV. Huh. Whoever that was, thank you. I'll get to it in 1 second. Or I won't, because it was somebody subscribing. Sorry, I missed it. Whoever just subscribed, thank you for subscribing. It's very cool. Yeah, so I can't speak to these motors, whether or not they're balanced, whether or not they're notchy, whether or not they're durable. happymodel certainly makes great TinyWhoop motors, though, so you never know. My main concern is going to be durability. The happymodel TinyWhoop motors don't seem to be as durable as some of the other motors out there. I've not had that experience, but other people have that I trust. With a freestyle rig for flying outside, it's going to get the hell beaten out of it. So that's what makes me a little bit nervous about durability. But it should make really good power because 4800 kV and 1404 are just right. 2.5-inch propellers. You want to check out the Emacs Avan Rushes. Those are probably going to be your best bet, but buy a couple different 2.5-inch props and try them out. 03 freestyle builds. The 03 system is pretty goddamn heavy. 4S is correct, is the correct battery voltage. Yeah, should be good. I'm assuming that you're doing a Quadmula Jin build. Let me know how you like it. I've been very tempted to buy that frame for a while now. Speaking of, I swear to God, if they sold out of the F3, I know the F3 came back in stock. If they sold back out of it, I'm gonna light the into you. Are you kidding me? Maybe it didn't actually come back in stock. Maybe you guys were lying. Don't you fucking post in the chat that it did come back in stock. You let me believe that it didn't actually come back in stock. Are you kidding me? What the hell, man? Maybe I just need to put some options in. Nope. God damn it. Is this one still in stock? Oh my God, even this one's sold out now. Oh man. Well, that's a massive fuck you. Is the Jin in, maybe? Yeah, the Jin is in. This one worries me though, because the front camera cage is so much farther forward than the front arms. So like every time you hit face first, it's gonna just mangle your top and or bottom plate. I really like the ends of the arms to be the farthest forward point, to like protect your camera and stuff like that. Oh, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, see how the front arms are swung forward a little bit here. So if you face plant this, you're gonna hit the nice thick arms rather than the really thin top and bottom plate where your camera is. That's one of the big reasons I haven't done the Jin yet. Also, if I do a 2.5-inch build, I don't think it's going to be carrying the O3 system around. The O3 system's a little heavy. I would want a 2.5-inch build to be just a little bit lighter than that. But I don't know. I've seen a couple people do that Jin build with O3s, and they seem to fly pretty good. Curtis Hayes says it isn't spray acrylic. It's most likely a 3M product that's hydrophobic. Ah, very cool. Very cool. Walter says you're a Filipino link on Ali. Yes, I have one now. CMYK putting the CiottiFPV.com link into the chat. Thank you, homie. Striker says Rosser tested Happy Model 1404 3600's most efficient motor to test. Looks like Happy Model just has their stuff dialed in. Yeah, they've figured something out with motors, that's for sure. CMYK says they sold out the same day. I've been camping since March, April. Hardware is mostly out too. All right, well, if they sold out the same day, I feel a lot better about it. Straker says, I just want that F-35. Been waiting for months now. Gonna put T-Motor 1604s on it, 305. 1604. Yeah, 1604 should be good. They'll be just big enough. Mark Jimenez says, if not the Happy Model 1404 4800, what's your go-to 1404 for freestyle, the T-Motor? T-Motor 1404 4600 is the best 1404 ever made. Yeah, Striker. Calling it. All right, cool. So, caught up on chat. I need to plug the... Well, let's fly analog first. Since the X12 rig with the 802 25,000s went swimming earlier, it gave me the kick in the ass that I needed to pull apart one of the other... I had too many of the little analog drift car chasing rigs, so I pulled the one apart that had the... I put this BT 2.0 lead on it that was like really long, because originally it was a 75mm rig that I was using to test motors. And so, yeah, it is now right back together. The cycle of life has continued, but kind of cool. This has VCI 0802.8. I gotta check the KV anyway. 0802.8 27,000 kV motors. These are some of the biggest motors I've ever had on an analog 75, I think. Hold on, let's check the stator volume calculator. 0802.8. And then 0802. What? Did that work? And then 1002, and then 1102. What? 1102. There we go. All right, so let's see. Volume. Oh, wait, no. No, it's not at all. What? Hold on. Let me just make sure that this thing is working right with that decimal, because it put that Q in there, which is a little weird. Wow, I thought 0803 would have way more stator volume than 1002 and 1102. Apparently not. I'll be damned. I still think it's going to make more power than them, though. So here's 1002. It's 802.8, 141. So yeah, it's almost where it's almost the same volume as a 1002. But man, the Betaflight 1102 has way more stator volume. That's super interesting. I did not realize that. Huh. All right. Well, it's not the biggest motor, but it's the first time I've run an 803, basically, right? We can just stop calling it 802.8, right? Yeah, it's the first time I've had an 803 on this thing, so I'm very interested to see what this is going to be like. I just put these motors on, so I need to put it into Betaflight and get them spinning in the right direction. So let's knock that out real quick. Betaflight is already opened here. Pull it over, go back to the desktop view, connect, plug this battery in, and away we shall go. Motors. Motor direction. The propellers are definitely removed. What do I look like, an idiot? Motor 1, it's backwards. Motor 2, backwards. Motor 3, backwards. Motor 4, you guessed it, backwards. Now they're all making thrust. All right, let's just check it real quick. Oh no. The motors aren't reversing. Why are they not reversing? Because it's on 4.4.3, and I think that's the version that had the goddamn bug. Yep, the motors won't reverse. Alright, so we're just going to run this props out then. I'm just going to pull the propellers off, and we're going to run it props out. Screw you. I will not be, well, I guess I could just... Too late, I already pulled the propeller off. What I was going to say is I could just go into the ESC software real quick and reverse them there. But, like, you know, what fun is that? Props out will be fine. I'm just gonna be flying around that. Well, you know, this will maybe be cool. I'll do a couple of dives outside with this thing and see if it winds up at all, to see if there's any improvement, any difference. Now, I've been flying props in rigs for a while now, and so yeah, maybe this as props out I'll be able to notice a difference. I didn't really notice any difference when I went from props out to props in. Maybe I'll notice when I go the other way. You know what I'm saying? All right, now it's making thrust. There we go. So let's see what kind of RPM this thing turns with the props on. 52,000, 52,000, 52, 52. Very consistent. That's pretty impressive. I don't usually get that much consistency out of the smaller motors, which makes sense because they're so small. Nate Adams says, do you run props in on everything, or does it depend on the quad? Curious why. Depends on the quad. The only rigs that seem to benefit from it are ducted or prop guarded rigs, like CiottiWhoops and, it would appear, TinyWhoops. Everything else is props out to push branches and propellers away from the center of the rig. But when you have a prop guard, that it doesn't do that, right? Like, the prop guard does all that work. And yeah, there's something that's very evident in CiottiWhoops, where when you run props in and you go to drop elevation, they just do it much better. With props out, ducted rigs like CiottiWhoops have a super hard time dropping elevation. It's very strange. Mark Spatz realized this a while ago, and I've been doing it ever since, and it makes a massive difference on certain rigs. It makes a massive difference on CiottiWhoops. I think it maybe makes a little bit of a difference on the TinyWhoops, but it's definitely not like super obvious. It's maybe there, but also kind of maybe not. What the hell? Why don't I have? Oh, right. Low power until first arm. There we go. All right, cool. 803, 27,000 kV murders on an analog 75 millimeter build. Ooh, not bad. Ooh. Hello, response time. I have missed you. Yeah. Oh, come on with the core temperature warning. What is this shit about? Why? Stop going up. Stop going up. Stop going up, dude. What? No. Why? Hold on. Back the tune off a little bit. Maybe that's why. Let's see if that gets it under control. Yeah, it does. All right, we just had it... we just had the tune a little bit. Yeah, but now it's getting prop wash. And now it's going back up, too. What the hell? Stop! Stop! Why? And now it feels like shit again, too. It doesn't feel like shit, but it doesn't feel nearly as good. What the hell? Why? What? Let's plug it in and check some shit. Why? What? This has been completely fine. Is the... Everything looks okay. The fucking VTX antenna is plugged in. ELRS antenna also is there. Hasn't broken off. Let's see. Hold on. Betaflight, what say you? Tuning. Let me actually try something. No, D-term low pass 2 is on PT1. Interesting. It's got tons of filtering. Maybe it's got too much filtering. Let's bring the gyro RPM filter down to 1 harmonic. That should help a little bit. Oh. Hold on. RPM filtering is not turned on for some reason. Why is that? What the hell? Bidirectional D-shot is turned on, but then... Why does it have so much filtering? Oh, yeah. Gyro RPM filtering is turned on. I just changed the harmonics. But it's got 3 dynamic notch filters. That's way too many. Why is it like that? That's super weird. Okay. Now the CPU load is significantly lower. Hopefully that was the issue. That was weird, man. Alright, let's give that a shot. PIDs are... They're alright. Nothing crazy. Save. Just looking for anything else that might be screwed up in here. I think we're alright. Dynamic idle is not turned on. Okay. Yeah, this looks alright. Alright, let's try again. That's weird, man. Same battery. Should be a little bit of life left in it. Okay. Let me just limp it around for a minute. It's completely fine with those 2 extra dynamic filters removed, so that's good. Interesting, yeah, it looks like it was over filtered. Wow, I got, oh, for fuck's sake. I got lucky with that. Nope, it's back. We're back. What the hell? Dude, what a shame. I'm just gonna let it melt itself into the goddamn ground. I'm sure it'll be fine. Surely it'll turn itself off before it completely explodes, right? This battery is done now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, one of the problems with that core temperature warning being there is that it covers up the low battery warning. Which is not great. Well, fuck. I can't say I understand why this is happening. This was totally fine in a 65mm build, and now it's not. For no apparent reason. So what I'll do at some point here, maybe now, maybe not, but I will definitely move this to another set of motors to try to see if the motors are the issue, but I mean, they won't be. That's just not really how it works. I mean, it shouldn't be how it works. Maybe it is. Weird. And these motors were fine on the Walksnail setup. On the, I was using these motors on that 1S Walksnail build. And I mean, that's carrying an extra 6 grams around. So, like, what the hell? Why would they be pissy like this on a build that's lighter? The obvious answer to that is vibrations getting in, that there are now more vibes getting into the gyro, but I don't buy it. So what I'm checking right now is to make sure that the AIO is not pushing up against anything. What's super weird is I had this exact setup before in this same frame and it was fine. That looks okay. Always check like the mechanicals of your shit first, my friends. Very very strange. And I spun the motors up, and there were not, like, a lot of vibrations. Huh. That is super weird. Again, I'm just trying to make sure that the AIO is soft mounted. Just Mo, no, you can back to back them, it's fine. The TinyWhoop motors barely get hot at all. I don't know why they put that 10 minutes thing. I think they put that 10 minutes thing on there like if you're a racer. If you're because like apparently the racers are now the really fast racers are using those 40,000 kV motors only for qualifying. And so they're just like full and the way that they fly is just basically full throttle all the time. It looks like, at least. So yeah, if you're flying them freestyle, you'll be fine. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh God! I am exhausted. There it is again. Ooh, shit. Oh my God, what the fuck was that? I'm getting a lot of electrical noise, though. Look at all this electrical noise. What the fuck are you doing? Take off, you shitbird! I think the ESC just blew up. Something just happened. Right rear motor is twitching. Shit. Well, that would maybe explain it. Oh no! 2G4 down! No! This has been a rough day. Rough fucking day. Yeah, the motor is perfectly, like, loose. Loose. Nothing is blocking the motor. Wow. What a... Fuck. Well. Okay. So, when a motor starts twitching, here's what you do. You go to your local waterway and you throw it in. And you move on with your life, because ain't nobody got time for that. Take your screwdriver. You unplug the motor. You unplug another motor. So you've now unplugged two motors. I'm going to go diagonally. I'm going to unplug this motor and this motor because they both have the same direction propeller, spinning propeller on them, right? So I'm going to unplug these two motors and I'm going to swap them. And if the problem moves with the motor, then the motor is the issue. If the problem stays where it's at, then the ESC is the issue. And that's what's going to happen here, is that it's going to stay with motor 1. But look how quick this is, right? I already have one motor off. They're both unplugged. I already have one motor off. Here comes the other one. And now we just swap them. And we won't even have to change anything in Betaflight, you know? Like, you could do this if you were out flying. So, there we go. We're going to take that one that was on the back. Don't get them confused. Put it up here on the front. I think I did that right. I might have fucked this up. But whatever. I can tell that it's the ESC. Because it's reset. The one channel is resetting itself. I could be wrong, though. I hope I'm wrong. I would love for it to just be these motors. Kevin James with a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says, new AIO fund. Super generous, my man. This is actually a 2G4. I really hope that it's just the motor. All right, one motor is on. And let's get this guy plugged in here. Hold on. Bring this up, bring this over. Jbo888 says, are you liking those HD0 goggles the more you use them? No. They're just as uncomfortable as they were the first day I put them on. But they've got great DVR, and they're not that uncomfortable. Like, it's just that the OG Fat Shark goggles are absurdly comfortable, right? So it's like, you know, you're comparing them to the absolute best. Yeah, no, they're fine. I mean, they have HDMI out. They have the best DVR, the best analog DVR ever produced. And so they totally have their place. To buy them to just use analog with is absolutely like crack addict shit. So don't do that. But if you think someday you might use HD0, then yeah, then it's okay. But definitely don't spend $600+ for analog goggles. That's a bit much. Okay, we've swapped. In theory, unless I get confused, but I think we've swapped the motors. If we haven't, I'm not undoing it. Power the transmitter back up. And plug the battery in. And now the right rear motor will probably still be twitchy. Let's try. Or magically everything will be fine. Matt Erskine with a $20 super chat as well. Oh, Jesus, dude. I got laid off from my job. Take all my money. I'm super sorry to hear that. Although, every time we get laid off of jobs, the next one that we find is better. So, in a weird way, I'm happy to hear that. And like, any job that's willing to lay you off didn't really love you enough in the first place. So, fuck them. Thank you so much for the incredibly generous super chat, my friend. I have absolutely no idea how this thing is magically fine. But I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to benefit from it. And, yeah. Let's see how long it lasts. Oh, I guess it could have been it just getting too hot. I guess maybe the AIO got so hot that it shut off that FET went into like some kind of thermal shut off or something. Let's see here. Let's chill and just cruise. And we'll see what happens. Man, these 75mm rigs, oh, there it is again. These rigs have they're so much heavier. Like just like look how close, I don't mean to get this close to the walls, but it just carries so fucking much momentum. Oh god damn, yeah, see, like I really notice it when I just try to kind of cruise around and change direction. Look at this one. Oh my god, Teddy's nose! Let's see if she'll do it again. Let's see if Azalea will do it again. She did! And Teddy's trying to eat it. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. Man, the core temperature thing is super weird. Super, super weird. Oh god. I rejected. Let's just ignore it. I mean, I kind of need to just ignore it because the whole point of tonight's stream is to compare 75mm analog to digital, and my other 75mm analog rig went swimming. Ooh, we got it into that newbie drone gate. That doesn't happen all the time. Oh, God. That was shitty. Let me check this. Here's how I can check if it's motor related or if it's something else. Watch this. Will it keep going up or will it come down? It's coming down. Look at that. Look at that. So it's motor related. Well, it's not necessarily motor related, but it's ESC / settings / motor related. You know what I mean? One of the things that a few of us have been noticing with these VCI motors is that we're kind of maybe thinking that they didn't... Yo, what's up, Jesse? How are you, homie? We've kind of been wondering with these VCI motors if they did not use thicker windings on the higher kV motors. And if that's the case, that could be a part of the problem here. That could be why, because basically when you do that, you end up with a motor that's not very efficient. So we might just be dumping amps into these motors. And they're already a pretty big motor, right? 0803, 27,000 kV. That's a super shame because this actually feels really good with these motors on here. This is sort of the best that this thing's ever felt, if I'm completely honest. Still very heavy though. Still a very heavy rig. Let me take a look at the weight compared to 802s. So this fella with these VCI 0803s and a very long BT 2.0 lead is 24.4, it looks like. And then the rig that went swimming earlier, 24.3. So 24.3. The rig that went swimming earlier, 23.6. So not that big of a difference in weight, 802s versus 803s. This even has the lighter weight props on it. Why is this AIO getting so hot? Actually, I have an idea. I'm going to take this off of... Hold on. I'm going to put this back on the fan. Alright, so I have to do this for the digital rig anyway. So I figure I might as well do this on both. I'm going to put these both onto the newest version of Betaflight, and I'm going to follow Brandon's method of TinyWhoop filtering. And we're going to see if that helps this issue. Maybe it's not filtering enough. Maybe it's filtering too much. But yeah. Metal Dirt Skin. And Kevin James, thank you again for the super generous super chats. All right, so here we go. Why won't this plug in? There we go. Is this the battery I just ran? It's warm. Yes, it is. Okay. So here's what you do when you want to update your flight firmware. Connect. You go to presets. And there's a little button up here that says Save Backup. Click it. And it's going to save this backup file, point it somewhere sensible, and save that shit. But then look at it and make sure that there's things in here. I've done this before, and this file is completely empty, and I've lost, like, all my stuff. In this case, we're good, though. All right, and so now we go to update firmware. So now we've got everything that we've changed set up. Saved. And so we won't have to set this thing up from scratch. So now we're going to go auto detect, Crazy Bee 4, SX1280. That's the one. And 4.5.1, load firmware online. Flash firmware. Ignore the risk. That was saying, hey, do you want to create a backup? So you could actually just wait and click create backup there. Save you a minute. All right. And it's flashing. Give it a little bit more time. While I'm waiting, I'm going to pull up the messages that Brandon sent me. And so... where are we at here? All right, back up and flash to 4.5. Done. Okay, and we're going to connect. Accelerometer is enabled but not calibrated. That's fine. We're going to actually pull that over from this backup. So now we've got this text file. All this text file is a diff. So if you're more comfortable going into the CLI and typing DIFF, go ahead and do that. But it'll take a little bit more time. So I'm not going to copy into the clipboard this. I'm going to start here because I don't want it to automatically save. Because I want to see if there's any red text in here with any warnings. So then I just highlight, it's whatever. You don't have to highlight it that high, but it's fine. It doesn't hurt anything. Oh, wait a second. I bet you I can... Hold on. I guess I can... I've never really done this before, but I guess I can go into presets and load backup. Look at that. Cool. So I can just click... The other option is to go into the CLI and just paste. I have it in the clipboard. But I haven't done this before. Let's see what this does. Is it going to tell me the warnings? I assume that it will. Nope. Maybe there were no warnings. Let's go into the CLI and take a look. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paste and hit enter. And it's not going to do anything. But if there are any warnings, it will pop them up in red. Okay, so there were no warnings. I'll be damned. All right, so now... Although that did bring over all the filtering. What I should have done is not paste in the filter related stuff, but that's okay. We can overwrite the filtering stuff. That's fine. All right, cool. So Brandon is recommending the 4.5 filter settings for clean build with RPM filtering as a starting point. All right, so we're gonna go to presets. And I'm going to search for the word clean. And so here we go. 4.5 filter settings for clean build with RPM filtering. So our options are, and this is from Betaflight, 4.5 clean build with no, both from Beta, well, these are all from Betaflight, it looks like. Very clean without, and then very clean with. So we'll stick here with regular old clean with RPM filtering. So we're going to click that, and there's no options or anything here. Pick it, and then save and reboot. So this is going to be our baseline. And now that has overwritten a bunch of shit that I copied and pasted in from my old tune. Now we're going to connect again. And... all right, we're going to go to PID, and now I've got some stuff that, so yeah, it pulled over my PID tune and everything, which is great. Pulled over my rates. Throttle mid needs to be adjusted, but let me actually just turn this down a little bit. Just turning the amount of throttle expo down a little bit. And now we're going to come into the filter settings and take a look. And Brandon has recommended set 1 harmonic if it's a plastic frame. Yep. Save that. Option 2, tuning. What's that mean? Whatever. We know the 1 harmonic trick. We've done that quite a bit. All right. Turn off the filter slider, then set gyro low pass U to 100, low pass 2 to 135 on PT2. So use gyro slider off, and then gyro low pass 2. We're gonna whoa. This is for if it's a BMI gyro. Here's how you find out if that's the case. You go into the CLI and you type status. STATUS. And then in here, it'll tell you what gyro it is. And so we are on a BMI 270 gyro, which is a kind of a noisy gyro. So that makes sense why Brandon's having us add a shitload of gyro filtering. So again, we're going to turn this back off because I didn't save it. And then we're going to drop this all the way down to 135. Wow, that feels weird. Although he is saying to do a PT2, which is a less aggressive filter type. So we're filtering down really low, but then we're using a less aggressive filter. Super interesting stuff. Oh, now this is interesting. In the CLI, we're going to set gyro hardware. Oh, right. You can control the BMI the BMI 270 allows you to let me show you. Change its internal filter. Invalid name, huh? So let's do get gyro, and let's see what's in here. I'll throw an underscore. There it is. Gyro underscore hardware underscore LPF. That was what was there. Why did that not? Oh no, it's fine. I don't know. Oh, I see what I did. This is me being stupid. I made a mistake. We're good. I made a mistake. Okay. So what this does though, if you type get, so if you like change something and then you change things with set, but then if you use get, it'll give you the current setup and then it'll give you the allowed values and the default value. It's just really cool to kind of check yourself. So we're on option 2. Yeah, and now we're going to save. So that has changed the BMI 270's internal hardware filtering setup to be, I want to say more aggressive. Might be less aggressive, though. Brandon also... All right, so that's the bulk of what he said. And then if we still need more filtering, we can use gyro low pass 1. If you apply any filter reset, it'll reset the CLI command in the gyro filter. That's good to know. Get a log at 3,200 rate rather. All right, cool. So there we go. That is Brandon's preferred filtering setup nowadays. Let's not change anything else and take a look. I'm assuming that this thing will fly. It didn't give me any errors with the backup, and so there's no reason that this shouldn't fly, but there's also no reason that any of these things should fly in the first place. It's a goddamn miracle, so we'll see. We'll see right now. Brennan says, option 2 is legacy BMI mode. It's how we used to have it before Betaflight 4.3. It's more sensitive. Okay. It's more noisy. We have more control over the filter by taking them into Betaflight instead of the gyro. Very cool. So that's why we're doing so much gyro filtering in Betaflight. That's what Brandon's saying. We're letting Betaflight do more filtering than the gyro itself's built-in filtering. I have a feeling that it forgets the bind. It loses its bind when you update. No. It won't arm. Is it giving me a reason that it won't arm? No. That's weird. Alright, hold on. It did not lose its bind. It is bound right now. Let's plug back into Betaflight and see what the hell's going on. Oh, I would have Stevie Wondered that shit. I'm glad that, well, maybe I'm glad. Maybe I'm not. Let's see. Nope, that's the wrong window. Let's connect, and let's go to receiver. And we'll make sure that we have stick movement. We do indeed. Alright. At 0 throttle, are we low enough? We are. Okay. Aux 1 works. Alright, let's check setup and see what the arming disable flags are. Throttle load MSP. What the hell does that mean? D-shot telemetry. Did bidirectional D-shot not turn back on? No. No, that's good. Oh, yeah, right. The D-shot thing is because there's no battery power to power up the ESC. So the problem must be throttle load MSP. What the hell is that? Oh, that's the MSP. No. Yeah, that's good. That's because we're plugged into USB. There's no reason that this should not be arming. Let's plug the battery in. That should get rid of the D-shot. Yeah. So why? The OSD is not turned on. What is that about? That's fucking weird. Okay, OSD is now turned on. That'll at least help me figure out why it won't arm once I'm in the goggles. But just real quick, let's check modes. Yeah, no, we're good. Arming. Horizon? What the hell, man? Why you no work? Okay. I must admit, I'm confused. 358. Yeah, no, this all looks fine. Alright, well, let's just try it again. I didn't change anything, but we can try it again. That's something that, in the world of FPV, works way more often than it should. And, of course, now it's fine. Why not? You know, why not? I don't have OSD, though. I bet you it's a NTSC versus PAL problem. Hold on, let me fix that. Without OSD, it's going to be kind of hairy, especially because we want to see if that core temperature shit goes away. So let's come in here and connect and go to OSD and whatever it's... Oh, it's on HD OSD. Why? Why is it on HD OSD? That's so weird. I'm pretty sure the RunCam Nano 3 is NTSC. So put it into NTSC, and now that should have fixed the issue. That's weird. That's really weird that it went to HD. I don't understand that at all. But whatever. Now we got our OSD back. Okay, let's see if it still gets too hot. Well, it's not flying away, so that's a massive first step. Yeah, let's see if we start getting the temperature warning again. Flies totally fine. Flies exactly like it did. No, there it is again. What the hell? I have a feeling it's these motors. Ah. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. But why the hell were these motors fine on the digital rig? That makes no sense. Yikes. Just trying to, like, do stuff that I can do open air, because it's so much harder to fly this thing in all the little tight spots here. Because it's so heavy. I mean, how hot will it get? And I mean, that's only Fahrenheit. Oh, it's going down. See that? Fuck you. Inexplicably, it's going down. I have no idea. Man, this is so difficult to fly in here. Oh, come on now. Man, these motors feel great. Oh my god. This is not a good day of flying for me, man. Not a good day of flying. I'm flying like crap. I'm destroying stuff. Right, hold on. I can probably push the tune back up now, though. Especially since I know that the issues are not tune related. Alright, let's see. Come on. Sounds and feels fine with the tune cranked back up. See, like, it has so much momentum that it just... I'm literally bouncing from wall to wall. From the weight. And, like, I'm trying my best to adjust and to use a lot more roll to cook off all the extra momentum. But man, this is difficult. Hey. Ugh! Let me go! No! Let me go! Oh my god. Ooh, 190. I haven't seen it get that high yet. Oh man, back down into the 80s. Whoa, that was a weird noise. Let's push the tune more. Pushing the tune on these 75mm rigs makes a massive difference. Because they're so lazy, because the response time is just like not optimized, I guess. Yeah, it really helps to push the tune. Okay, well, got almost 3 minutes, but I think I might have unplugged this battery at some point. Let's keep going. Shit. Let's run an absolutely brand new, fresh TinyWhoop battery, and this is going to be the last battery that we will run on this, and then we're going to go to the digital rigs. So yeah, this is a brand new, this is like the lightest 451S that you can get. TinyWhoop has them. They're awesome. Yeah. So this is an absolutely fresh, brand new battery. I have not cycled this even once. Let's see how this is. If I nose this thing in, this battery's going to shoot out the front. I got to figure out a way to secure these batteries in here. Tell me I didn't just Stevie Wonder that. Is it pulling a lot of amps? I haven't been paying attention. We can compare that. Wow, it is, isn't it? I saw 12. That, I wasn't looking, but that should have given us a big-ass amp number. Let's actually disarm it, and we'll take a look. Wow, 45,800 RPM is a lot. Does it not give... Do I not have maximum amps in the... Oh, that's stupid. I gotta change that with the OSD. Tell you what, man, these motors feel great. It's... It's a shame that they're causing the ESC to get so hot. Whee. Hey. Was this also happening with the VCI 702s? Do you guys... Does anybody remember? I feel like they're... Yeah, so now the battery is dangling. You can always tell by flying in front of a mirror. No, you can always tell by just moving the sticks. You move the stick and you get like a little wobble. Here, see that wobble? And the wobble just like started out of nowhere. That's always a sign that you've got a dangling battery. That's why I typically run the batteries that have the plastic caps on the back. Is they will never do that. They will never eject like that. I've not really figured out a great way to hold the batteries in, other than just like you could just put like a bead of E6000 in the battery bay. But then the battery is going to be like really tough to get in and out of there. To be honest, I think I'll take the weight penalty and just run the batteries with the plastic caps. They're not that much heavier. Ah, that's going to spit the battery out. Oh, what's happening here? Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, nope. Well. Oh, now it's... This is interesting. Now the right front is not working. Okay. Oh, I lost the propeller. Okay, good. Well, not super good, because I don't have any extra of these propellers. Shit. Well, I mean, it was going to be the last battery. I wish I'd have gotten all the way through the battery, but now it's just going to be the last battery that we don't get through. Yeah, these are the 1mm 1610 props, and for whatever reason, I only have one set of them. Nope, those are 1.5. Yeah, I have all the 1610s I have are 1.5mm shaft, and so there's the end of that. Technically, what I could do is put it onto the HQ 1.6mm props, but that's okay. We're good. This is fine. I will plug this battery into the little TinyWhoop discharger. Hey, by the way, the little, I don't know if I talked about this, but there's a TinyWhoop little tiny discharger here that comes with pH 2.0. It's very easy to convert this to BT 2.0. You just desolder the pH 2.0 and put a BT 2.0 in there. Super simple. And you can have a BT 2.0 1S discharger. Get them at TinyWhoop. I think they still have them. I hope they still have them, because they were the only ones. There's no other dischargers for 1S batteries. I have one in or I have one in red and one in purple. You can also I have not removed the pH 2.0 in this one, but you can get little BT 2.0 to pH 2.0 adapters. Nightwing says we still got them. What's up, Nightwing? It's a goddamn tinywhoop.com party in here tonight. Thanks for joining, fellas. Okay, so it's a little late, but probably tomorrow during the day, I'm going to pull this camera canopy AIO out of this frame and put it into a different frame that has different motors. I'm going to put it into the... Where the hell did it go? What? Oh, it's somewhere else. I have a bat. Here it is. I'm going to put it into this frame. I might as well just do it right now. I'm just going to plop it on top like that. Yeah, I'm going to put it into this frame with the prototype 603 30,000s that Jesse very kindly had sent to me a while ago. And we'll see if that ESC core temperature nonsense goes away. If it does, hold on. Let's go back to the stator volume calculator real quick. So 0802.8 versus 0603. Let's see the difference in... Ooh, boy, that's a big difference. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yikes. Well, this is strange. Big motor. Look, big motors are gonna pull more amps. Big motors are gonna pull harder on the ESC. But here's the thing. I've run these guys on 1102s, which are way bigger than these 802.8s. I don't know, man. I have a really weird feeling because a lot of people have complained about the efficiency of these VCI motors. I have a really funny feeling that they used the thinner windings from the lower kV of this motor, and so these high kV motors are just not. They just, again, this is totally just a guess, but I have a funny feeling that that's what's going on here. I'm trying to think if there's a way to really figure that out from what I have here. I wish 603 was a similar stator volume. See, the thing is, these are 27,000 kV. If I put 1102s on, those are only 22,000 kV. If I put 1002s on, those are only 22,000 kV. I need a motor with similar stator size, with similar kV, and that just doesn't exist. These 603s have way less stator volume, so they will not pull nearly as hard on the ESC, even though they're a higher kV. They're 30,000 kV versus 27,000. What's super weird about all this is that these VCI motors on the digital rig didn't do this. And that leads me to think that this 2G4 AIO is the problem. And we'll we will kind of be able to suss that yeah, when I put this into another frame with a different set of motors, we'll kind of be able to figure that out. But I don't have any motors that are going to pull as hard on it, so we won't totally figure that out. Hopefully that makes sense. Oh man, this is super annoying. I am gonna pull these props off. Hopefully I can find that last propeller. I'm trying to change as few variables as I possibly can. Let me do this. Let me put the HQ props on here. Yeah. Let me put the HQ ultralight props on here. That shouldn't change anything, but if it does, I want to know about it. Where have those propellers gone? Bueller? There they are. Alright, cool. I can't possibly imagine that this will change anything because the only way that this would change something is if it was a propeller balance issue, but I'm pretty sure that it's not. But I mean, this is a quick thing to check, so let's just check it. I also don't mind having a set of props on these motors and frames, so this is fine. Wow, these props fit really tight on these motors. So I'm gonna take my 0.99mm drill bit, of which I have extras if you guys want to buy some. I have them in this fancy little pin vise. You don't need that. You can just put them in. You can just grab them with a pair of pliers. But I'm just gonna run them down this 0.99mm drill bit real quick, and now it'll fit a lot better, and I won't destroy my motor by pushing the propeller on as hard as I possibly can. Wow, that's still really tight on there. Hold on. Hold on. Look, man, if you're ever pushing a propeller onto a TinyWhoop motor and you're having to like really push on it hard, stop. Stop pushing on it. You're going to break it. It's too much. You need a 0.99 millimeter drill bit, and sometimes you need to run the prop through there twice. It's important. Stop ruining motors. If you haven't ruined one yet, you will. I promise you. All right, let's try that. Stop it, Pinvice. Stop it, Pinvice! Apparently my desk is on quite the slant. Wow, man. I think these VCI motor shafts might be oversized a little bit, or maybe the inner diameter of these HQ ultralight props is slightly smaller. All right, let's try that one more time. This was supposed to be a quick swap. Quick thing to try. That's much better. Yeah, much better. Jesus, that still really goes on there. Yikes. Well, hold on. Just trying to remove a little bit of extra material, sort of pushing the propeller left and right a little bit. Parkour guy charged up 6 batteries, drove a half an hour to do a hover test because the camera was dead. At least you remembered to bring your batteries. That's my favorite. Driving out to the spot to fly and just forgetting the entire bag of batteries. Nothing makes you feel like a bigger idiot than that. I guess maybe if you forgot the quads, you'd feel like a bigger idiot than that. But yeah, because the quads hang on the outside of your bag. Kinetic says, I heard you talking about the Cockroach V3 last stream. Is it worth switching to? And do you run the carbon plate? Definitely don't run the carbon plate. TinyWhoop motors have very thin, very fragile motor shafts. And so mounting them onto a rigid carbon plate is a great way to destroy lots and lots and lots of motors if you crash. And specifically if you crash hard. So yeah, none of the, and also like the carbon plates don't solve any problems. We don't have any issues with vibrations on these little quads because they turn such high RPMs, and high RPM, high frequency vibrations get filtered really hard no matter what your filtering scheme is. So yeah, the whole carbon fiber brace thing makes no sense for TinyWhoops. Is it worth switching? I can't answer that question. I mean, you have to answer that question. They're like $4 though, so like why not buy one, especially if you're already doing an order on Newbie Drone. Grab yourself one of the light AF frames while you're at it. Those have really blown me away. Get one of each, the Cockroach V3 and the light AF. Make sure you don't get the light AF frame in black though. It's very weak in black. Get the clear-ish color, either the white or the clear-ish color. Plastic is clear, and so if you're buying something made of plastic and it's any color other than clear, it has had additives, dyes or powders or something added to it to change it from clear to some other color, and those additives are not as strong as plastic, and so they make it weaker. So with things that need to be strong, if they're made of plastic, getting them in clear plastic is your best bet. Is it going to make a huge difference? Probably not. But the light AF frame is really pushing the limits of what's possible. And so, yeah, you want to do as much as you can to kind of help it out. So, yeah, get you some. Hunter says 75mm or 65mm Walksnail rig if you can only have one. I have parts to build either, plus have a 2S Walksnail Module 8 build for outdoor. I don't really like either of them, to be honest. What I would rather have doesn't make a difference, Hunter. You're a different person than me. So yeah, which one I prefer is not going to help you out, and it's probably going to lead you in the wrong direction. it's pretty simple, 65 versus 75. 65 is better inside, 75 is better outside. The end. Where do you want to fly more? That's how you make the decision. Not asking, you know, some stranger on the internet what he prefers. That's yeah. Get your guys' heads at, like, look, that I've chosen long form content, right, in these live streams. And so take advantage of that. And instead of asking me what I prefer, ask me questions about, like, what they do better. Like, which one's better for indoor? Which one's better for outdoor, right? Like, that's a much better question than what do you prefer? Because, yeah, asking someone else what they prefer, it's just not going to help you. It's not... I know why you're asking that question. But with FPV, and specifically like with these custom built rigs that we're taking all this time to research and hand build and all this, right? It's just not the right question to be asking. Hopefully that makes sense. Hold on. I didn't discharge this battery all the way down, did I? Because I lost that propeller. Let me just check it. No, I sure did. 3.55. Jesus, I actually over discharged it. What the hell? Oh no, wait. It's this. No. Did I over discharge all these? 3.55. Wow, I ran these really low. It's because I didn't have the low battery warning. Because the core temperature shit was in the way. 375. I think this battery might have just enough juice. I just want to see if that core temperature thing comes back. 4.33. But I want to save... Oh, no, here it is. Here it is. It's on the discharger. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Let's see. Get in there. Hey, 3.84. Just enough, hopefully. Just enough to see if that core temp pops back up. All right. Let's check if it was propeller related. I can't possibly imagine it was, but I would love to be wrong. Walter Hartman with a $10 super chat. Thank you, brother. No comment. Just wants to support the insane life of doing FPV full time. Thank you, brother. Very cool of you. Very, very cool. I'm gonna hover the damn thing. Actually, I'm gonna fly through the live stream. This will be a bad idea. Oh, no, wait. I'll line of sight fly it. Well, I'm not going to be able to see the warnings. I'm going to have to keep looking back at OBS, but... See if I can get through this gate. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, it's so difficult. It's very difficult to fly line of sight. It also looks insane FPV, but luckily I don't have to look at it. There it is, core temperature warning. All right, so it's not propeller related. Oh God. Oh boy, I don't know what side is what. Oh, please. We're good. It's fun. Oh, I missed it. A botched hand catch. Botch toe. All right, people. So that's analog 75. All right, that's what you got. That's analog 75. Now we're gonna go to over to digital, and in order to do that, I need to first take a bath and shower the analog goodness off of me to prepare for the Walksnail pain. I kid. It'll be fine. All right. So I now need this HDMI cable, which of course is full. Wait, no, where? What? Where's that? Oh, it's already plugged in. Look at me. Look at the big brain on me. Where's the? Oh wait, no, we're good. That's right. I remember the setup that I've got now. Walksnail time, friends. 1S Walksnail rig. Oh shit! No, I gotta update it. I gotta do the update stuff. This will actually be really cool. We will get to see if if we get some more runtime out of this. I sent some logs. So the Walksnail rigs are on the they are on the Betaflight cross style AIO, which has black box. So I sent a black box log over to Brandon's Baked Beans, and he very kindly gave me all the feedback that I went through a minute ago with the other rig. And so now we're going to do the same thing with this one. But in that black box log, I hope Brandon's cool with me doing this, but if he's not, I won't know about it. This is what he found in there. This is bad. The 1S Walksnail rig has had this massive column of vibrations at about, looks like 170-ish hertz. Looks to be like from 160 to 180 hertz. It's had this for a while. So this might have actually been really hurting the flight performance. And Brandon says it's because the D-term low pass filter 2 being on biquad in Betaflight 0.4 is the bad, basically. So we are going to fix that. On the rig that I was flying a minute ago, it didn't have that problem. That D-term low pass 2 was on PT1, and I actually switched this guy to PT1, and it cleaned it up a little bit, and I got a little bit more runtime. For the first time ever, I got more than 2 minutes. But let's update this anyway. What the hell? So my new way of updating these things is to go to presets, click save. Actually, no, we can do it the super fast way. Update firmware, auto detect. Just take a look at it to make sure it's roughly the right one. Betaflight F411, that's the right one. 4.5.1, great. And then just hit load firmware online, and then hit flash firmware, and it's going to give you this. And you can click create backup. It feels weird to like wait until the last second to do it here, but it's fine. That's the backup from the other rig. I don't need it anymore. And now this is going to create a new backup. Then open that up and make sure there's stuff in there. There is stuff in here, so we're good. And now it is already erasing and flashing. So that's the ultra fast way to do an update with a backup file. You just got to make sure you hit yes, I want you to back up, rather than no, I want to live dangerously and ignore the risks. Stop it! Oh my god, you son of a bitch. Go there! I want you to go there! Go there! Is it the grid thing? Show view options. Is it the grid? Snap to grid. Grid spacing. Snap to grid. None. Snap to grid. I think that fixed it. Can't. Oh, Apple. I will make you pay. There it is. Snap to grid. Oh, you dirty bastards, you. Hold on, this is important. Okay. Alright, it's fine. We're fine. What were we doing? All right, it's now on 5.1, 4.5.1. Okay, so now we go in here to presets and we load backup. There's the backup file. Open it, and now this is going to bring pretty much everything in. I think if there's any, if there are any problems with the old backup, it'll pop a window up that gives you the warnings. But we don't have any warnings, so we're okay. Let's just super quick check the accelerometer is roughly calibrated. Yeah, we're good. Nose down, nose up, left, right, okay, Great. So a couple of the weird things that we got last time is that it didn't turn... This is so weird. It doesn't turn the OSD back on. I don't understand that at all. That's super strange. I wonder if it would do if it would have that same behavior if I'd done a diff in the CLI. But there's no real way to find out. It even remembers the... What is this OSD setup? This is not my digital OSD setup. Is it? No. Where did it get this OSD setup from? Oh, this is... Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Hold on. Let's just ignore the OSD. Okay, PID tuning. Let me jump back into Brandon's messages. And okay, presets. Search for clean. And we want 4.5 filter settings for clean build with RPM filtering. Pick it, save and reboot. And then we're going to turn that gyro RPM filter way down, which is in PID tuning, filter settings. And so it's this fella here. We need to turn this off in order to manually change. Although, hold on. What if we leave that on and then move this all the way? Oh, it won't go low enough. Well, no, it will go low enough. So technically we don't need to turn that off. We can just move this gyro filter multiplier slider all the way down to 0.25, but I'm not going to do that because we can't get the exact number, and I don't know if maybe this 135 number is... Oh, you know what we also can't do is move it to PT2. So yeah, this is fine. You got to use turn gyro slider off, and then you can put this very specific 135 number in, and then change it to PT2. Save that. And, oh, no, we need to go down to 1 harmonic here. That's great. Let me just turn this up to 800 just in case. Just in case. Filtering the high frequencies doesn't really hit the oh, words eluded him. It doesn't hit the processor very hard. And now we're doing that wacky gyro hardware LPF option 2 thing. All right, so there we go. Now we have Brandon's famous baked beans filter bean filters and beans. I don't know, man. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. Here we go. Let's get this wacky Walksnail setup plugged in here. And we will fly around in full digital HD chocolatey goodness. How exciting is that? And there's a small dog that has decided to come visit us, even though we didn't ask him to. Or want him to, for that matter. That's a mean thing to say. I was just kidding, Teddy. You don't know English. It's fine. Alright, should have some video in a second. Hey. Alright, man. Let's see what's up. Battery has already sagged down to 4.14, which is normal. Let's just see what's going on here, though. So, we are now flying 1S 75mm Walksnail. 6 grams heavier from the Walksnail system. But, man, does Teddy look better in HD. Does he not? Look at this handsome little stuffed animal looking motherfucker. If that's not worth 6 extra grams and a minute less runtime, I don't know what is. Look at him. Look at this boy. Look at the world's best boy. Chase it, you lazy bastard. Chase it. Oh God. Look how much fun it is. I'm kind of specifically taking it easy here. I just want to see what the... I want to see if we can get 2 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe 3 minutes of runtime. We'll never get that flying this thing outside because you're covering so much more ground. But I wonder if, like, you fly really slow inside the house, if you can actually get a half-decent runtime and not massacre these 1S 450 mAh batteries. It's not looking good. We're at 1.5 minutes and it's already down to 3.5. But let's just see. This is a Betaflight 1S 450 mAh battery. They actually fly kind of fine, and they look like they might be folded cell. I'm not totally sure. In the Betaflight order that I did earlier today, I put some lava 450s. And so that'll be an interesting comparison. It seems like the lava batteries are all folded cell. I don't know, man. These old school blue and white Betaflight batteries are very flat. So I don't know. I kind of feel like they're folded cell. All right, so we're down at 3.4. This is done. And we got 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's not the worst, but let's just see. Look at the maximum ESC RPM, 41,000. That's quite a bit down from the from those 0802 2.6s. And these are Betaflight 1102 motors. This battery is warmer than it should be for me just limping it around the room. We're gonna run one of these brand new TinyWhoop 450s with the little lead on them. So this is absolute best case scenario. Brand new battery, first cycle. Let's see what runtime we get. Just chilling around the house. I'm not gonna fly it that gentle. But I'm gonna really try to take it easy here. And just kind of see, because I really don't like the idea of discharging these batteries down in 2 minutes. That's a bit much. So let's see. Oh, he's interested now. Oh man, this Teddy, I love you. I love you so much, little dog. This battery has dropped down below 4 volts already. I did just see Nightwing in the chat say that the first cycle is sometimes not great. But let's just see. I have another Betaflight blue and white battery that we can run after this. Oh, it's dark upstairs. Oh, yikes. Man, I swear to God, I know, like, everybody says that these Betaflight 1102s are God's gift to motors, but every single time I fly them, I'm a little bit less impressed. I don't get it. I don't get why everybody loves these motors so much. And I've been using them for years. I originally used them a lot on the tiny lifters, and I was not impressed with them there. And now, yeah, I've used them a bunch on these Walksnail builds, and just been totally confused by them. Kind of can't wait to get them off here, if I'm honest. But, I don't know, I was also not super impressed by the RC and Power 1002s that everybody says are the greatest motors of all time, too. So, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe other people don't know what they're talking about. What I do know is that if I don't... Okay, there we go. Never mind, now I don't have to say it. Hello, Senor Spaghetti. Hey! Oh, great, we're inside. Okay, we got out. 2 minutes and 15, and we're still at 3.5. That's good. Okay. I like that a lot. Hey! We made it. Ah! 2 minutes and 30? Alright. And I just saw a low battery warning. Sitting at 3.5 on a hover. We can go a little longer. Not hurting the battery yet. There we go. 2 minutes and 50. And the battery's down to 246. Alright, I mean, that's a lot better. 32,000 RPM on the at max. Alright, yeah, I mean, here's the problem. It's not fun to fly like this. Like, it's, you know, that was not a fun battery. That was, like, work. I don't know, man. What do you want from me? When I tested all the motors, these 1102s were the best, but I still don't like them. What's happening to the black screen? What the fuck? It's this goddamn cable, man. I cannot find a USB to USB-C to HDMI cable that doesn't suck a bag of dicks. This is the third one. They're all garbage. What the hell? Now it won't work at all. What the... You didn't miss much. Wow, this cable shit the bed all the way, I guess. Usually if I wiggle it, it comes back to life, but it's all the way gone now. Sorry for anybody wearing headphones. Yeah, this cable's donezo. Wow. Is anything not going to break today? What the fuck? I mean, I'll try turning the goggles off and on. But, I mean, that ain't going to do anything. Man. Rough. Rough. Oh my god. Really? Come on. What are you doing? Why? Man, so I guess we're done. I don't... Yeah, I mean, it's just all the way gone. Maybe if I blow in it like an NES. Nope. Oh! You just gotta be old to know how to troubleshoot shit, you know? You gotta be old enough to have literally blown into video game consoles to fix them. Although, it's probably now black screened again. No, it's fine. Wow, look at that. Blowing into it helped. Well, so the runtime is now fucked. It apparently has been running for 1 minute and 50 seconds already, but the battery is still at 3.7, so we can't make a runtime comparison on this battery, but we can... Wow, it flies like ass now. What the hell? Look at all this prop... Whoa, this flies terrible all of a sudden. What is going on? Look at all this prop wash. What's happening? It's gonna need more than that. Let's try that. Might just fly away. No, it's fine. It's a good filtering profile right there. I was not able to do this on the other filtering profile. I was not able to get the PIDs up that high. Much better with the PIDs up there. Much, much better. Thank you, Brandon. Good call. By the way, I haven't mentioned this in far too long. If you guys want fully customized black box tuning help, you can hire Brandon. It's $1 a minute, which is absurdly good value. And Brandon is like probably one of the top 20 guys on Earth in terms of PID tuning. And so yeah, if you want to learn to tune by like ear and just learn what the PID loop does and shit, I can definitely help you through my Fiverr. But if you have rigs that you want to get tuned using black box, Brandon's your guy. He will get your rigs flying better than I can. I can get you to like 95%. If you want to get beyond 95%, Brandon's your guy, and he'll take real good care of you with it. Good care of you. That's it. Yeah. Towards the end there, I was able to show you a little bit, but like I think you guys can see there is a drastic difference between analog and digital in terms of flight characteristics. 6 grams does not sound like a lot, but on a craft that only weighs 20 grams and change, it is an awful lot. And that's what you're seeing there. And, you know, the Walksnail rig is basically a CiottiFPV. And it's fun. It's fun to cruise around the house. Look, for years and years and years and years, this is just how TinyWhoops flew. And we had fun. But we now have rigs that absolutely rip in the house. And that's what's fun for me, in my opinion. And so, yeah. Walksnail is super cool, and I love it, and I love that this exists. But boy, is it, without going to 2S, boy, is it hard to get it to give you both really good flight characteristics and half-decent runtime. And I just keep hitting the wall here, and I'll keep trying, and I'll keep trying different stuff. But man, this has been a ride to try to get this going right. And I'm at the point where I just don't think it's possible to have a 1S outdoor capable Walksnail rig that's not going to either hammer the hell out of your batteries or require like a bigger, just a much bigger battery. I think we have to go up to like a 550 mAh battery, which is the next thing that I'm actually going to try with this thing. I want to see what it's like. I have flown it on these 550s. Of course, none of them are charged. But I'm going to leave a bunch of these 550s out, and I'm going to run this thing. I'm going to run 4 550 mAh batteries on this thing. That'll bring the runtime up. The problem is that these are significantly heavier, right? So with the wall that I keep running into is that when I put a battery into this that's big enough to not have a 2-minute runtime, the flight performance goes to hell. And even the 2S rig, when I go from the TinyWhoop 300 mAh 2S battery to the Betaflight 450 mAh 2S battery, the flight performance goes to hell. And so, like, with TinyWhoops, we walk this tightrope of battery capacity, power to weight ratio, all up weight. And they're, like, it is the skinniest tightrope out of any rig. Like, it's the hardest to balance those things. And that's what I'm knee deep in. And I don't think that with the extra 6 grams of Walksnail, we can have it all. I think we need to either sacrifice runtime, and unfortunately, sacrificing runtime is going to cook batteries pretty quick. Or we need to sacrifice power to weight ratio, and that's basically what we've done here. Like, this doesn't rip. It flies okay, but it doesn't rip. Or we need to sacrifice durability by being drastic with weight savings. I'm just not finding a way to have it all. Which kind of makes sense, because 6 grams lighter with analog, we don't have performance to spare, right? It's not like a 5-inch rig where it's like it's got just acres of power to weight ratio and response time and stuff. You know, the analog rigs, to be honest, they just barely have enough performance. And so, of course, adding 6 extra grams, 30-ish% more weight, is going to throw that way off, right? But this flies okay. It flies okay, and I'm still going to optimize it. And I mean, we might be there. These motors might be the best ones. But I've tested it all once. I always like to test stuff twice after I've had some time. And so that's what we're in right now. We're in like the second phase of dialing these things in. And then that's it. And then it'll just be, if something new comes out, we'll test that. But I'm coming to a lot of the same conclusions as I did the first time we went through this testing, which is a good thing. And so, yeah, a little bit farther to go. I'm going to charge up a bunch of 550s, run this on these guys. I already know that these are going to be too heavy for it, but just for the sake of argument, I'll do it. I'm going to charge up 2 550s. There's no reason to charge up 4. I already know what's going to happen here. But yeah, I'll run it on the 550s. On the 450s, if you're only going to fly it inside the house, you're going to get 2.5 minutes of runtime, and you're probably not going to totally annihilate these batteries, these 450 1S batteries, to death. And so, yeah, if you want a 75 millimeter house cruiser with Walksnail, we're kind of already there. I'm just going to finish this testing up here to make sure that I've kind of settled on the right set of motors. And then away we go. Veritas Weez is in the house. What's up, homie? Teddy's good. He's as naughty as ever. MoFPV says, I really like the 1102s. What don't you like about them? I feel like they give authority to heavier rigs. They just don't fly good, but nothing flies good on this. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, Mo, you're one of the guys. When I say like a lot of people that I trust really like the 1102s, you're one of those people. And like, I've just never, like, you and other people are like, oh my God, they're so great. And when I fly them, I'm like, well, I mean, I guess they're maybe a little bit better than the 1002s, but I don't ever have this moment of like, oh my God, they're so great. And I've heard that from a bunch of people that I trust. And so I'm just not getting that. I'm not getting that like, wow, these are so great. It feels like they're a tiny little bit better than the RC and Power 1002s, which I'm actually really looking to double check. That's the next step. Is I'm going to fly a couple more batteries on this, and then I'm going to move it over to this frame with the 1004s, same frame. And I think what I'm going to feel is it's a little bit worse on these 1002s. That's what happened last time. I'm done with them on the VCI 0802.8s. These were the motors that I was happiest with on it, but they also really hammered the battery. And so, yeah. I think at the end of all this, the recommended motor for a 75 millimeter Walksnail build is going to be these Betaflight 1102s. But I don't really like it. I don't really like it on these motors. It doesn't fly good enough. I would rather fly an analog rig and just have worse video. Yeah. Because the analog rigs are like really fun to fly. This is just a CiottiWhoop. And like without a subject and or a paycheck, I don't really fly CiottiWhoops. I know it's kind of a dick thing to say, but it's the fucking truth. CiottiWhoops are, you know, a lot of people have CiottiWhoops collecting a lot of dust on their shelves because they're just not all that fun to fly. And so, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I can't find a better motor setup for this, I'm probably going to take this apart. And I'm probably going to use this stack minus the canopy in some kind of an open prop setup, because that's where I'm going to start playing around with next, is some of these like 2-inch non-prop guarded setups. So yeah, we'll see. But man, I am the least impressed with the way this flies out of all the Walksnail stuff that I've built so far. Even the 65mm freestyle rig with the 40,000 kV motors is way more fun to fly than this guy. In fairness, this is going to annihilate your 300 mAh batteries. But they're the cheapest batteries. So, yeah. And I mean, it doesn't seem to be that hard on them. I take that back. It's pretty hard on the batteries. Notice says rough tech day. Indeed. Notice also says no video black screen, but no Stevie either. Nightwing says, do you have any great minds think alike? Yeah, we got there, Nightwing. Nightwing thinking the same thing I was, 550s. Nightwing says, love your dog. Thank you, dude. Denzel the Terrible says, yay, digital FPV. Welcome to the 21st century. Parkour Guy says, if you change a setting such as VTX power through the OSD, when you go back into the OSD menu, will it show the default or first value or the current value? When you go into the OSD and you change the VTX power, and then you scroll down and you hit the set or the save or whatever the hell it is, it'll like blank out, and then it'll come back to the VTX screen. And if your VTX table is set up properly, at the top of the VTX screen, it'll now give you that new value. If it does not, then your VTX table is messed up, typically. Parkour Guy says, any reason to choose diff all instead of dump all in a CLI backup? Dump all will give you even the things that you haven't changed. And sometimes that's a good thing. Such as, like, if you switch Betaflight versions and there are, like, new features or it's removed features, I think it's actually better to do dump all. I didn't know dump all existed until, like, 2 weeks ago. So I think dump all is the best bet. Although, to be honest, going into the preset menu and doing that save preset, that works really well. Although I think that's a diff all. I haven't really messed around with dump all, but... so, for example, in your OSD, if they're like the crosshairs are turned on by default. If you do diff all, no, they're not. What's turned on by default? There's stuff in OSD that's turned on by default. If you go to diff and you grab a diff all, it won't turn those things off. I think the dump all will. So I think the dump all is better. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't messed around with it enough to really know for sure. Mick Bucas says, have you checked your VTX power? I have, yeah. My image will fix itself when I turn it down to 25. Yeah, it's on 25. I keep them all at 25. And that was one of the first things I thought. I was like, maybe the VTX is pumping away. All right, we're good to go. Thanks for hanging, friends. Get your asses over to TinyWhoop and make Nightwing pack some orders for you. And say hey to those fellas. I love you guys. Bye! The testing shall continue. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you Wednesday at 10. Here's some crashing into water bowls. This is the potentially the final flight of the of my Mobula 7 1S ELRS. What are you scratching, buddy? What you scratching, doggy? This is also, so this is a Mobula 7 1S ELRS with 0802 25,000 kV motors on the HQ ultralight 1.6 inch biblades. Flies pretty good, I must admit. See you guys Wednesday.